Have you ever been branded a dangerous loner just for cleaning a family heirloom on your own porch? What happens when the neighborhood busybody who preaches safety secretly hires criminals to invade your home? And how satisfying is it when her perfect little empire crumbles because she walked straight into the trap you patiently built? My name is Logan Hayes. Have taught me that the loudest people screaming about safety are usually the ones hiding the biggest threats. So when I retired, I cashed out, bought 12 acres of quiet scrubland on the county line, and built a house that was actually mine. No mortgage drama, no nosy neighbors, just wind in the oaks and a reinforced vault room in the back of my workshop for the historical firearms I'd collected over the years. That vault wasn't some doomsday prepper fantasy. It was ballistic steel, concrete core, magnetic locks I installed myself. The kind of place that keeps priceless pieces safe, not people out. For 5 solid years it was heaven. Then the bulldozers showed up across the road like locusts in khakis. 1 month it was open pasture. Rows of identical beige boxes with lawns measured to the millimeter and streets named after trees they just bulldozed. ND with the subdivision came the HOA charter, and its fearless leader Melinda Voss. She wore pastel cardigans to walk her yappy little dog, and spoke in that syrupy voice that made every sentence sound like a public service announcement. President of the board, self-appointed guardian of community standards. She fined people for trash cans left out 11 minutes past 7 a.m., measured grass blades with a ruler, and once sent a letter because someone's American flag was too vibrant for aesthetic harmony. Yeah, really. I minded my own business on my side of the county road. My pasture wasn't manicured like a tank. I didn't sign their bylaws, and I sure as hell wasn't going to start. But guys like me stick out to people like Melinda the way a single blade of crabgrass ruins their perfect lawn. The spark came on a crisp Saturday morning. I was on my front porch with a mug of coffee and my grandfather's vintage 1911 Colt disassembled on the table, oiling the slide the way it deserved. Beautiful piece, heirloom, nothing loaded, nothing pointed anywhere. Melinda strolled by with her dog and her teenage daughter glued to her phone. She stopped dead like I pulled a grenade pin. "Excuse me." Her voice sliced the quiet like a nail on chalkboard. "What exactly do you think you're doing out here in plain view?" I didn't stand up. I didn't raise my voice. With the rag. "Morning, ma'am. Family peace on my own property." She clutched her pearls literally. "There are children in Willow Creek. This is aggressive, threatening behavior. You need to take that inside immediately, or I'll have to report it as a safety hazard." I gave her the same flat cop stare I used on corner dealers. "Ma'am, this is private land outside your HOA, no laws broken. You and your dog have a lovely day." Her face went the color of cheap wine. She sputtered something about community welfare and think of the children, yanked her daughter's arm, and marched off like I just declared war on beige paint. I figured that was the end of it. Venting. I was wrong. In front of her kid. In Melinda Voss's world, that was a declaration of war. The whisper started 2 days later. My old rancher neighbor Bill pulled up in his truck, shaking his head. "Logan, that woman across the road is telling everyone you're a burned-out detective with PTSD. Sitting out here waving guns at kids like some ticking time bomb." I laughed once, short and dry. Let her talk. But they weren't just words. They were strategy. And armed, and suddenly the sheriff's department starts getting calls. Red flag whispers. A week later, 3 guys in matching polo shirts rolled up in a golf cart. "Community Safety Patrol," their shirt said, like they'd bought authority at Walmart. The leader, buzzcut in fake swagger, waved a piece of paper. "Mandatory safety inspection, sir. Reports of unsecured firearms creating a nuisance. HOA Bylaws Section 4C gives us jurisdiction for community welfare." I didn't open the gate. I'd seen enough forged warrants in my career to spot this garbage from 50 yards. Wrong formatting, fake statute numbers, and most importantly, zero legal power over land not in their HOA. "You're on private property, boys. That paper is toilet tissue. Cross this line and it's trespassing. Force your way in and it's felony. The young one in back, Tyler, couldn't meet my eyes. He knew this was wrong. We'll be back, and next time we won't ask. They sped off in their little cart like they'd won something. I called the county sheriff right after. Old friend, straight shooter. Footage inside. Melinda's been blowing up the station phone demanding we raid you. Says you're a menace. She's trying to scare you into compliance so she can document something to use later. Watch your six, Logan. Desperate things. That night Tyler showed up on foot through the brush, hands shaking, envelope in his jacket. Mister. Here, but she's lost it. She's calling it a retrieval operation. Hired 2 out-of-town repo types, heavy muscle. Told them you've got illegal guns, sheriff's too scared to act, so the community has to step up. $5,000 cash to break in tonight. Grab everything. Bring it to the HOA office for safekeeping. She even gave them a map from old listings. The envelope had everything. Texts, emails, fake invoices. She'd circled my workshop in the vault. I asked why he was risking it. My dad was a cop. His hands over lawn fines and beige houses. I didn't sleep. Mode. Called the sheriff, laid out the timeline. He wanted a cruiser in my driveway. I said no. Abort. We catch them inside or she tries again next month. He didn't love it but trusted me. Units would stage a mile out. I spent the day prepping. The house looked easy. Weakened the back window just enough. Left the vault door cracked like bait. Racks of rifles and pistols shining under the low lights. My command center was the workshop 50 yards away, every camera live. The vault itself? Steel box with a 1,200-pound magnetic lock. Once that door shut, it stayed shut until I said otherwise. The trap was set. Melinda Voss was probably sipping herbal tea, convinced her little kingdom was about to get its trophy. 1:45 a.m. South fence on camera 3. Not pros but confident enough to laugh in whispers. They pried the back window easy just like I left it. Straight through the kitchen, ignoring the TV, the laptop, zero interest in anything except the map in their heads. They hit the hallway and spotted the vault door ajar. The tall one grinned like he'd won the lottery. Jackpot, man. They stepped inside, duffel bags open, grabbing rifles like kids in a candy store. High fives, actual laughter. Grand. My thumb hovered over the red button on the console. I flipped the PA switch first. Calm as Sunday morning. Evening, gentlemen. The laughter died like someone cut the power. They spun, crowbars raised. Open the door. I kept it flat. It's not stuck. You're standing in a reinforced ballistic vault with no exit. Breaking into my house was stupid but brave. Walking into my armory? That's just suicide. The short one started banging his crowbar on the door. The clang echoed like thunder in a coffin. Let us out. This is a trap. You're right, I said. And you walked right into it. Drop the guns, sit down, and think about how a homeowners association dispute just became your worst felony. The tall one cracked first. Voss sent us. She said it was legal community seizure. She paid us cash. I cut the audio because their screaming blame game was giving me a headache. On the monitor I watched them turn on each other, shoving, cursing, realizing there was no way out of the box they'd chosen. When the sheriff rolled up, lights flashing, it was pure theater. Deputies cleared the house, found the 2 men slumped against the vault wall like defeated laundry. I disengaged the lock, weeping with relief that real cops had arrived. Before they even hit the squad car they were flipping, naming Melinda, the map, the $5,000, everything. Next morning Melinda strutted into the county courthouse like royalty, chin high, expensive lawyer trailing, filing an emergency injunction claiming I was hoarding dangerous weapons and the HOA had every right to seize them for public safety. She launched into her speech about protecting children, community standards, heroic volunteers stepping up when law enforcement wouldn't. The judge, a no-nonsense woman who'd seen every scam, let her dig the hole deep. Then the prosecutor stood. Exhibit 1. Security footage from Mr. Hayes' property taken at 1:45 this morning. The screen lit up. Break-in, theft, the vault door slamming with that prison cell clang. Then the clear audio of her hired muscle screaming her name and the cash amount. Melinda's face drained white. Briefcase and stared at the ceiling. The second clip hit harder. Her own voicemails crystal clear. Get the guns any way you have to. Break the window. People. The judge's stare could have stripped paint. Just file a frivolous suit. You orchestrated a home invasion, solicited burglary, fabricated evidence, and lied to law enforcement. Bailiffs moved in. Handcuffs clicked. Sobbing that the rules were supposed to protect her, not apply to her. The aftermath was swift and sweet. The Willow Creek board dissolved by noon. Members resigned in panic, funded actual crime, voted the entire HOA out of existence. The beige signs came down. Tyler testified and got probation plus a fresh start with a real security firm. Melinda's currently serving 5 to 7 in state lockup. Turns out prisons have a lot of rules too, and she's struggling with every single one. As for me, I'm still here on my porch some evenings, cleaning that same 1911, listening to the wind. No more fake warrants. Sometimes I hear kids laughing across the road now that they're free from clipboard tyranny. It's a good sound. Listen, I didn't go looking for payback. But when someone turns your peaceful retirement into a war over nothing, you don't run. You stand your ground, stay patient, and let their own greed lock the door behind them. Bullies with power always forget one thing. The quiet guy they picked on might just be smarter than their rules. Balance restored.